our mothers sacrifice something for us, or we've seen throughout our lives our mothers go without, or our mothers give up something that they dearly loved because they wanted us to have something else. And that's the story I would like to share for you today. Winford School had become the most important thing in my life. I had finally become friends with the girls, and they would come over every Wednesday, and we'd go up to my attic room, and we would drink chocolate, and we would talk about our graduation from 8th grade. We were the only ones who were going to Lowell High School, so we talked about high, and we thought so loftily of ourselves that we would claim that Lowell was academic. And then we'd start talking about graduation gifts. It seemed like everyone was getting one. Harriet was getting an onyx ring with a diamond in the middle, and Thyra's parents were putting 7 pearls on a necklace they started for her when she was a baby. And Charity, she was getting a real honest-to-goodness wristwatch. Even Carmelita was getting something. Her sister Rose was putting $1 every payday into an ivory manicure set. I was intrigued, and I wondered what my family would do for me. I kept asking questions, looking for a clue. I had seen a pink celluloid dresser set in the window of Schiller's department store, and I had my heart set on it. I was dropping hints until my brother Nels took me aside and said, "You know we don't have money for that. Have you forgotten the hospital bills that we have to pay back? All the aunts that we owe money to? Do you not remember that as soon as Papa gets well enough, he has to work for free for Mr. Beauchamp just to pay back our bill? I don't care. Everyone's getting a graduation gift. How do you think I'm going to feel if I don't get one too?" Nels got impatient with me and told me I was being a spoiled brat. I retorted that he was a boy, and so naturally he wasn't expected to understand such things. When Mama and I were alone one day, she asked me how I would like her silver brooch for a graduation present. "Mama, what in the world would I do with an old brooch?" "Well, you could think of it as an heirloom. It was your grandmother's." "No, thank you, Mama. But I would polish it up for you." "Mama, look. A graduation gift is like, well, it's like the pink celluloid dresser set in Mr. Schiller's window." There, I had said it. Surely with such a hint. Mama looked worried at me, but she didn't say anything. She only pinned her silver brooch back on her dress. I knew for certain that my mother would do anything to get me that dresser set. I bragged about it to the girls at school like it was a sure thing. I even took them to Schiller's store, and we oohed and awed over it together, and they agreed with me. It was wonderful. It had a brush, a comb, a pin cushion, a mirror, a clothes brush, and something called a hair receiver. Graduation night was a flurry of excitement. I remembered every line of my school play, and I overheard Mrs. Scanlon say that I was even better than Harriet, who had taken elocution lessons for years. When I got up on the platform to receive my diploma, everyone applauded loud and long for me. It was probably because of all the aunts and uncles who were in the audience, but I decided it was because I was so popular. And when we got home, there it was, sitting on the dining room table, the pink celluloid dresser set. Mama and Papa beamed with pride at my excitement, but Nels and Christine didn't say anything, I noticed. I thought they were just jealous, but I was sad that they wouldn't join me in my joy. I took the box up to my room, and I took a long time to arrange it how I wanted it. I put the brush here, I put the comb here, the pin cushion went there, the mirror just so, and the hair receiver over here. The next morning, my mother let me sleep in, so when I went down for breakfast, she had already gone grocery shopping. Papa was drinking his cup of coffee, and Nels was reading the newspaper to him. He figured since he was on vacation, he would try to get a job. So he was reading each section out loud, and Papa and he would discuss what job the job was like. After breakfast, Christine and I went back upstairs to do the beds. Well, I made her wait because I wanted to go see my dresser set one more time. My little sister Dagmar went up with me, and when she touched the mirror, I scolded her so loud and so harsh that she started to cry. Christine heard it, and she came upstairs. She wiped Dagmar's tears and sent her down to Papa. And then she looked at me for a long time. What do you look at me like that for? As if you even care. You got what you wanted. She pointed to my dresser set. Trash! Cheap trash! How dare you call my graduation present trash? I'm gonna tell Mama on you. Oh yeah? Well, you go ahead and tell Mama on me. And while you're at it, why don't you ask her what she did with her silver brooch that belonged to her mother? Why don't you ask her that? What? You mean, did she? Christine walked away. I grabbed up the dresser set and raced down the stairs. Papa was on his second cup of coffee. Dagmar was sitting in front of the stove playing with her doll, and Nels had left. Papa! Oh, Papa! Is it true? Christine says, did she really? I broke down in tears. Papa took me onto his lap. There. When my sobbing and hysterics had settled down, Papa talked to me seriously. He said it was like this. I wanted the dresser set, and Mama wanted me to be happy more than she wanted her silver brooch. So she had taken it to Mr. Schiller and traded it for the dresser set. But Papa, I never wanted her to do that. It's what she wanted, Katrine. But if I had known, she loved it so much, it's the only thing that she has from grandmother. And she always intended it for you, Katrine. I knew what I had to do. I grabbed up that dresser set, and all the way to Schiller's store, that dresser set in my arms. I thought about how hard it must have been for my mother to trade that brooch to Mr. Schiller. It had never been easy for my mother to talk to strangers. Mr. Schiller examined the dresser set very carefully. He wasn't sure he was going to go back on his deal. A bargain was a bargain, and he had thought about giving the silver brooch to his wife for her birthday the next month. I recklessly mortgaged my vacation. I'll do anything you want. I will come in, I will polish the displays, I'll sweep the floor. Mr. Schiller assured me that that would not be necessary. He could see how badly I wanted the brooch. So he decided to break his deal. I clutched that brooch as I went out the door of the department store. I half walked, half ran all the way back home. I didn't stop until I got back into the kitchen. And there was Mama, standing next to Papa. The groceries still on the table. Oh, Mama, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to hurt you. Will you please forgive me? He handed her the brooch. She took it back. She rubbed her thumb over it for a moment, and tears brimming in her eyes, she pinned it on my dress. She took me into her arms and embraced me and hugged me so tight, and she whispered into my ear, Katrine, I love you. I love you so much. And over my sobs, I whispered back to her, I know, Mama.